Hello everybody and welcome back to the Brickazoid's Den. Today I wanted to do a ranking, or not, I guess kind of a ranking video basically, of all the best levels from each movie in the Skywalker Saga. Let me explain. So basically, the LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga video game has been out for a couple weeks now. A couple weeks now. And I thought that I would go ahead and rank each level, or wait, hold on. Find the best level in every movie. That's a better way to explain it, I guess. Per movie. Of course, this game goes through all 9 films of the Star Wars Skywalker Saga, and each movie has 5 levels, and I'm going to be going into each movie and finding the best level in my opinion. And I have the list here in front of me, so we're just going to go through each one, and I'll talk about why I liked it so much. And, just another ranking video. And I also stream this game on the channel, of course. If you've seen the streams, I appreciate it. So, I guess we'll get going right into it right now. Starting off the list here, we're going to start in the Phantom Menace, of course, the beginning of the Skywalker Saga here. And out of the 5 levels, I had to choose the level titled Better Call Maul, which is level 3 of the game. It was, of course, the level where we actually have a boss fight, a very well done boss fight, spanning the entirety of the level, with Darth Maul playing as Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And we're also in, like, the Naboo area. I guess we're in Theed Palace. I don't know exactly what that spot, or the place where they fought was called. I guess it would be, like, the generator or energy. I don't know what it is. But anyways, great intro to boss fights in the game. And I was actually surprised that it wasn't the actual final level of the game like it was for the complete saga. This is actually level 3, right smack dab in the middle of the film. But again, it was really well done. All the levels in this game are relatively fairly short, and this level was pretty good, pretty long. It wasn't long, but it was like a pretty good. It was long for the standards of the Skywalker Saga, and again, it was just a really great, well done boss fight. And it spanned the entire level. You know, you fought some droids as well. Had some, like, grunt enemies to take care of in between your fights with Darth Maul. And I always enjoyed the lightsaber combat in the LEGO games, but this game specifically has some of the best. So it's a lot of fun. It makes you mix and match your lightsaber dueling combinations. So, again, overall, this fight with Darth Maul, Better Call Maul, is incredible. Also, I appreciate the Better Call Saul reference. Alright, so now we are moving on to Attack of the Clones, which of course is episode 2. And I gotta be honest, this movie did not have a lot of my favorite levels in it, but this one, which I will reveal in a minute, was pretty alright. And this level is level 4, which is called Petranaki Panic, which of course is the Geonosis arena battle with all the Jedi, and then the clones come in, Yoda comes in. But we start off the level playing as Obi-Wan, Padme, and Anakin, taking down the creatures of the level, and the creatures that were attacking each Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme. You have to take those down as actual boss fights, and like the little boss fight meter would change names to the different bosses who you're fighting when you get close to them. And that was a pretty good start to the level. You have this quick boss fight with these 3 creatures, and then you actually move into the full droids versus Jedi battle, where we also have another boss fight included here with Jango Fett as playing as Mace Windu, which I also enjoyed. It was a nice continuation, and overall a pretty good redo of the Geonosis arena level, but I do end up liking the Complete Saga's version a little bit better. I don't know, I just found more enjoyment in it, and it was a little bit longer than this, I feel, because of course, like I said previously, the levels in this game are relatively short, and compared to other LEGO games, so the other one in the Complete Saga was a little bit better just because, again, it was longer, and also the version from, what is it called? Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, that was also, I thought, a little bit better, a little more fun to play around in. But yeah, this was still pretty good, and again, I think it was probably the best level of the Attack of the Clones movie. I don't know, the levels in this one I wasn't really too crazy about compared to some of the other movies, but either way, we will move on. Moving right along here, we are going to Revenge of the Sith, which this was a super tough choice for me. I had 2 levels that I chose here, but this movie had some amazing ones. This movie had maybe it was my favorite movie to go play through, Revenge of the Sith. I just feel like it had so many great levels. I mean, I think there was probably more spots in the movie that they maybe could have chosen for more levels, but this still had some really great stuff in it. So the super tough choice that I am stuck in between, the ultimatum, if you will, is level 4, which is Senate Showdown, and also level 5, which is the High Ground. So they kind of rhyme a little bit. But ultimately, I have to go with the Senate Showdown, because this was the first time we actually got this level ever. Like, this kind of like this part of the movie as a level. And the High Ground level we already had in the Complete Saga, and I also thought it was done better in the Complete Saga, because you actually played as Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then eventually you would have to, you'd be pitted against each other in this boss fight where, your co-op player may be fighting Obi-Wan, and then you'd be fighting Anakin, almost like an original style of it, which is really, really really cool that the Complete Saga had done that. And in this new version of the High Ground level, which is level 5, like I said, you play as Obi-Wan fighting Anakin, but then the co-op characters are R2-D2 and C-3PO. So it just wasn't as interesting, even though they were still there to help. Your co-op players kind of stuck with these characters who you might not be too excited to play as, versus Obi-Wan actually fighting Anakin. Well, like I said in the Complete Saga, you actually got to play as Anakin and Obi-Wan, and you guys get to fight each other at the end. But again, back to the Senate Showdown here. Again, first time we ever got this level, super uniquely done, and overall, it was a really, really great boss fight. I'd have to say it was like absolute perfection for me. And again, the High Ground level was really great, but still cannot beat the Senate Showdown level for me. Just an absolutely perfect boss fight. You got to see some like clone troopers coming in, and then you start in the office, and then you go down to like the actual Senate room, and you'd fight them, and oh man, it was just so much fun as level 4. And yeah, there's Return of the Revenge of the Sith. I was trying to say Return of the Jedi. I don't know why, but Revenge of the Sith, Senate Showdown, level 4. That is my favorite of this movie. Alrighty, so now we are on to A New Hope. Of course, the start of the original trilogy of Star Wars. And for this, I had to choose level 1, which was the boarding party level. Super great starting level, a perfect redo of this level from the Complete Saga, making it feel completely different from the Complete Saga, which was also very, very well done. Just compared to the rest of the levels in this movie, this was easily my favorite, and not too much else to say, really. I mean, again, A New Hope, it didn't have also my favorite levels. I wasn't too crazy about the ones in here. I mean, there was the boarding party one, and then there was also like the fixing the Millennium Falcon, which was cool. And then there was a couple levels on the Death Star, and then you actually had to blow up the Death Star. So, to be honest, I wasn't too crazy about many of the levels in this movie, but the boarding party level was definitely my favorite. A great introduction as we start off as playing as Captain Antilles, I believe, and also Princess Leia. And you're working your way through the Tantive 4, taking down troopers, building some like laser cannon and like a water pressure cannon hose thing, whatever. And then also you then move on to playing as R2-D2 and C-3PO, trying to make your way to the escape pod on the Tantive 4. And again, it was just my favorite level of this movie, so we'll move on. Alrighty, now we are moving right along to Empire Strikes Back, the middle movie of the Complete Saga, the original trilogy. And for this one, I had to go with Revelations, which was level 5, the final level of this movie. And again, this game does very well with their boss fight levels, and this one is no exception. Really uniquely done boss fight with Vader. I like when Luke slows down and this like cinematic moment begins where Vader may be coming out of like behind a wall or something, and then you have to do like this button mash lightsaber duel with him. It was just really, really fun, and again, a very, very fun thing to do. And this level goes through the whole, Bespin Vader scene, start to finish, and you're constantly just playing. There's not a lot of, I don't even think there was one cutscene that really broke it up. You were just going and going and going for it. And, of course, ending with this classic line, "No, I am your father," when Darth Vader reveals that he is Luke's dad. It was just incredible. Really, really well done level. Again, the boss fight spanned the entire level, gave you some time to grab some studs, gave you some time to kind of explore the really, really well done level that they have presented to you, and then you go right back into the boss fight. And yeah, it was a really great boss fight. The only like minor complaint is actually, I guess this wouldn't be a complaint for me, but I was playing this game single player. But if you were to play it co-op, your co-op character would have to be R2-D2, which obviously makes the most sense. But your co-op player might be a little bit disappointed that they can only play as R2D2 and not actual Luke fighting Vader. But of course they did that in the complete saga as well. So I guess what are you gonna do, right? It makes the most sense. But for me that wasn't a problem, and I still enjoyed the level so much. Now with Return of the Jedi, the final movie of the original trilogy, I am stuck at another crossroads here. Another tough choice between level 2, which is the Copa Kitana, I believe, and Fulfill Your Destiny, which is level 5. I want to choose Fulfill Your Destiny with that level because it was great to start out with Luke fighting Vader, then Vader actually joining forces with Luke to fight the Emperor. I thought that was a pretty good start to like the level. It was a pretty cool idea because usually in the the few iterations of this actual level where we had it in the complete saga, and then we also had it in the Force Awakens video game. That was like the prologue level, was the end of Return of the Jedi, and this boss fight was redone in that level. And in both iterations of this level, you play as Luke and Vader right from the bat. Starting right off, you are fighting the Emperor, playing as Luke and Vader because you need that co-op character stuff. But with this level, you're actually starting off by playing just as Luke, and Vader is actually the boss fight. You're hiding from Vader. You're up on like the balcony, and then Vader like throws his lightsaber down and cuts it down. It was just really really cool. But then of course, like I said, you join forces with Vader, and no pun intended, no joining forces. And then you actually fight the Emperor, which is really cool. But the Emperor boss fight was a little bit like simple because you would take him down with his own Force lightning. Then you would have to go and fight a wave of his Imperial guards, and then just redo that over and over again until he was defeated. So I don't know. It was kind of like a cop out of a not a cop out of a boss fight because it was basically 2 boss fights in one level. But I don't know. It just wasn't as good as like something else or this other level here, level 2, the Copa Kitana, which this level was really actually surprisingly unique. This was the Jabba's sail barge level, and it has a great opening Boba Fett boss fight. I even thought it was better than the Jango Fett boss fight in the Geonosis arena. Then you go into the sail barge, to have a super well done, super unique boss fight with Jabba the Hutt and also Salacious B. Crumb with Princess Leia and R2D2. And that was a really unexpected boss fight. I was like, oh, okay, where are we going down here? I guess the rest of the crew's gonna come with. But then you just start playing as R2D2, and then and then Leia joins your group, and now you're fighting Jabba the Hutt inside the sail barge, and then also Salacious B. Crumbs running around. Like, it was a very, very unexpected boss fight, but really, again, like I said, well done. So in the end, I have to choose the Copa Kitana because I was just really pleasantly surprised by how well this level, or how cool this level really is. I have to say it was better than the complete Saga's version of this level because it was just, blew me away. Because again, I didn't expect anything from it, and this is what I got, this Jabba the Hutt boss fight, which was super cool. And of course, playing as Luke, Chewbacca, and Lando on top of the sail barge was also very cool as well. So yeah, I liked it a bit more than Fulfill Your Destiny, but Fulfill Your Destiny is still an amazing level. Now we have the sequel trilogy. Now these movies are not my favorites personally, but I have to say the levels in this game were a lot of fun. They were. The sequel trilogy levels were actually pretty fun. Like going through the story modes, they were nice. It was cool. Even though, again, like I said, I'm not crazy about the movies, the levels were fun. The levels were fun, the open world was fun, and just kind of going through the movie was enjoyable. So, I'm just going to get that out of the way before I continue. So, The Force Awakens. Now, this movie had an entire video game based off of it, and these levels still felt completely unique, which was awesome. It was super well done. Again, an entire 10-level storyline based off of this one movie. You'd expect they'd done everything, but this game shows you that they have not, because it was really unique. It still felt really unique, but my favorite, which this one might be a little bit of a curveball here, my favorite is the level 4, Starkiller Queen. Even though it was super quick, the very quick level, you got done with it, very small area that you were actually in, the Captain Phasma boss fight was probably one of the more unique things from this movie's levels. As instead of taking her head on, with your blasters and everything, you have to set traps around the area for her to trigger, because her armor is way too strong for a blaster to pierce through, because it's like a metallic kind of armor. So it was a pretty cool idea. I was having to go around and set traps and things like that to actually fight her, which was cool. But yeah, I just thought, considering that the rest of the levels of this movie were all right. I mean, we started off on the finalizer, which was cool, but it was just kind of like an escape level. Then you would do the escaping Jakku level with the Millennium Falcon, which was just a flying level, which I wasn't too crazy about those flying levels. They just kind of went really, really quickly, so whatever. And then level 3. Level 3 was... Oh man, I don't even remember level 3. Was another... No. Was another... Oh, no, the Aravana. That's what it was. The Aravana with the Rathtars. That level was a little... it was fine, but it was a little boring to me. But again, Star Killer Queen level 4 was pretty good, and then the last level was pretty good, but this one to me was the most unique and the most interesting. So next we have The Last Jedi, and this is the first movie with zero Lego Star Wars video game content surrounded or based on or anything like that. There's been no other The Last Jedi Lego levels or anything like that. So it was very cool to play through both of these movies, The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, because they were all unique. So, but for The Last Jedi, I'd have to go here. My favorite level being level 3, which is No Snoke Without Fire. Easily the best level in this new piece of content. The only complaint was the slow walking in the beginning of the level, but it gave you some time to just kind of like listen to the dialogue between Rey and Kylo and also the other troopers around and explore the hallways of the Supremacy with some very goofy little funny quips thrown in. Like there was a thing where you could like burn down the kitchen or something, and that was kind of funny. But the thing that takes the cake for this level was the boss fight with the Praetorian Guards, which was extremely cool as we jump back and forth from playing as Rey and Kylo, which was pretty fun. I mean, it was I wouldn't want to say it was unique because it was just kind of like a boss fight, but it was cool to see like, it was like this long, there was like the boss fight health bar, and then there was like the different stages that you could see. And you'd play as Rey. You have to defeat one of the Praetorian Guards because each one have a different weapon. So you'd defeat one of the Praetorian Guards, and then the camera would jump to Kylo, fight his Praetorian Guard, then jump back and back and back until you defeated all 8 of them. And I really enjoyed that boss fight. It was better, I mean, I didn't know if they were going to do like a boss fight with just like Snoke, but they decided to do the Praetorian Guards, which I thought was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to play through. And just compared to the rest of the levels, I thought this was probably the most interesting for me. Just the coolest, I'd say, because this is actually the first time we played as Kylo Ren as well, so that was also pretty cool. That was a nice surprise. So yeah, that's my Last Jedi favorite level. Now we have The Rise of Skywalker, of course, the last movie in the Skywalker Saga here, and the last movie of the game. And for this movie, I have to go with level 4, not level 5. And level 4 is called the Strength to Do It. This is the level on Kef Bir, the Death Star 2 ruins, fighting Kylo. Again, this level in this movie, the levels in this movie were not as good as The Last Jedi's, I think, but they're still pretty alright. I would have went with the last level, which was Be With Me, level 5, but I wasn't a big fan of running along the Star Destroyer. There's a part in that level where you had to run along the Star Destroyer as Finn and Jaina and BB-8. I wasn't too crazy interested in that part. It was just kind of like it felt like I was being taken away from the actual boss fight in or on Exegol as Rey and Kylo. But the Sovereign Guards and Knights of Ren boss fight were pretty cool. But it was the exact same thing as a Praetorian Guard fight. Kind of copy and pasted there. But it was still fun. It was still fun to play through. So I chose level 4 because I really like the ability to explore the Death Star 2 ruins as the boss fight continues. You'd have a fight with Kylo, you'd defeat him one of his stages, he'd run away, and now you have a chance to explore. And that was really, really cool. You got some studs, you got to explore the Death Star 2 ruins, and then you go back to chasing after him, which was a lot of fun. I overall enjoyed the continuous Kylo Ren boss fight. Definitely my favorite Kylo Ren boss fight from any of the trilogy's levels. And loved like the water splashing towards the end of the boss fight. And again, going through the Death Star 2 ruins was just really amazing. It was so cool to see that all brought into like Lego form. And of course, you can actually go to Kef Bir and explore the Death Star 2 ruins in the open world, which is also really, really cool. So yeah, that is my level 4. The Strength to Do It is my favorite from The Rise of Skywalker. So there we go. There you have it. We have all 9 movies in my favorite level from each of them, which was really cool. So I'm going to continue streaming the the Skywalker Saga video game, trying to go to all those planets, all those open worlds, trying to get all those collectibles, all those Kyber bricks, and all that stuff. There's so much to do in that game, so it's going to take me a while, but I'm still going to do it. So yeah, that was it, really. So if you enjoyed that video, do the common YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.